Now we know that to define a line, we need a vector, a directional vector, and a point. So the point could be A, x sub A, y sub A with the coordinates. And the vector could be V with the coordinates B sub 1 and B sub 2. Okay, once we have a point and a directional vector, we know what line we are talking about. Okay, so now we are trying to understand how we can define this equation. All right, so imagine the point A is here, and this is the directional vector, U. Okay, we can draw a vector that is exactly the same vector than this, but here we just need this vector to have the same direction, and it has, because it is parallel, the same magnitude or module, the same distance. Let's make this a little bit longer. The same distance, it needs to have the same length and the same orientation to the right in this case. So if we add to this point the coordinates of this vector that is the same than this, we will obtain another point that is here, and it belongs to the line as well, because this is the line we are looking for. Sorry. Okay. Now, if we, for example, add to this point half this vector, we will be here, and this point belongs to the line as well. Now, imagine that we add to the point twice this vector multiplied by 2. I will obtain this point. All right. Now imagine that I multiply this vector by 3 and I add it to this point. I will be here 1, 2, and 3. Another point. And now imagine that I add to this point this vector but multiplied by -1. If I multiply it by -1, I will obtain another vector that has the same magnitude or module. It is parallel as well, but the orientation is to the left. So if I add this, the vector, but multiply by -1, I come here. If I add to this point this vector multiplied by -1/2, I'll be here. Multiply by -1/4 here. This point plus this vector multiplied by 1/4 here. So if I multiply the vector by any number and then I add it to these coordinates, I will obtain all the points in my line. All right? So that's the way how the vector equation of a line works. Let's go to the notes. So, here it is, the vector equation of a line. Sorry. So, any point of the line, which will be called x and y, any point in the line will have coordinate x and coordinate y. Will be the coordinates of the point. These are the coordinates of the point that I want the line pass through. All right? And we have to add a number that multiplies the vector. And that's how we obtain the vector equation of a line. Okay? Here you have an example. Imagine that you want a line that passes through the point A with these coordinates and has a directional vector v with components or coordinates 2 and 5. Determine the equation of the vector. So this is to obtain any point of the line. We just have to put the coordinates of our point, and then we have to add the vector but multiply by any number. K belongs to the set of real numbers. So if we try with 1, we obtain 1 point, with 2, with 1/2, with 1/4, with 7, with 100, whatever, all right? And we will obtain all the points of the line. Maybe this is tricky to understand because it is the first time for you, but I want to make sure that you understand. Please let me know if you understand this video, because if you understand this, you can understand the whole unit. So please let me know if you understood.